29K right here, 7K right here. Van Cleef's cost.
Hey, real fast, I need to know why y'all be dissing Claressa Shields, but be praising Cardi B.
Okay, y'all got all this smoke for Claressa because she with Papoose, who is still married to Remy. But y'all ain't got no smoke for Cardi B, who is married and also had a baby with this one. Like, what's really going on? And also, he got his little muffin, like, like a, you know what I'm saying? I got mine too. Better than yours, so just because you rock some shit. No, honey. But yeah, y'all got a lot of nerves. Y'all on some real like that's really like y'all really what they with select outrages they like to call that shit. Or no, or y'all just being colorist. Is that what it is? Because Claressa black and she's Dominican? Is this what this is about? Is that what y'all doing? Just saying, but I don't like how y'all like trying to drag Claressa. Y'all leave her alone. She need a mentor and all that. She's young, you know what I'm saying, and she's married. I mean, her man is married, whatever. And this one, like she got a baby with, and she married. Like, but y'all don't say about that.
What's stopping me from being a Cardi B fan is the fact that I hate stupid. Like, you can't tell me that a girl at the peak of her career was convinced by a man that already had 3 baby mamas to be his first wife and give him kids while he was cheating. And then she finally get away from him, to God be the glory. And she let a new convince her to be his 4th or 5th baby mama. When you gonna be number 1?
She ended up being Stefan's 6th baby mama. This man had 4 children born within a single year. So, while a lot of people initially assumed she might land at number 2 or maybe number 3, the reality is he was already involved with 3 other women at the exact same time, and they all had their babies months before she did. And just to be very clear for the record, she will never be number 1 to any man who actually holds real value after being number 3 for one man and number 6 for another. Let's be honest, there is no amount of manufactured PR or delusional fan support that's going to rewrite that narrative or change the facts.
When you gonna want to be number 1 in life? If it convince you to do that, I got an account that you can send some money to and we can flip it.
Know why y'all be dissing Claressa Shields, but be praising Cardi B?
Okay, so first and foremost, friend, I thought this was a really good question, right? And I know that there's a lot of commentary about Claressa Shields. Me personally, I have never dissed Claressa Shields, but I do feel like some of the hate that Claressa Shields gets is rooted in disappointment, because what I know about Claressa Shields, right? She is destined for so much greatness, but her greatness right now is really being overshadowed by...
Personally, I didn't just start paying attention to Claressa Shields last year like a lot of people did. Over here, we actually follow boxing. But the truth is, many other black women weren't really checking for Claressa like that until the whole situation with Remy popped off. And yes, Claressa's family has been a serious issue for her. Her cousin, her sister, that's been a major problem. But the biggest problem she's dealing with right now is Papoose. He is still a married man, and she seems determined to hold on to him by any means necessary. Now, I will say this. Claressa has never really had major drama attached to her career before, but this situation, getting involved with a married man and tying herself to these overly zealous rappers, Papoose and Remy, when she's a champion in her own right, is straight-up loser behavior. That's exactly the type of situation I warn young women to stay far away from all the time, but nobody can tell Claressa anything. She's at that age and phase in life where she thinks she knows everything. And right now, she has no real understanding of what she's stepping into or the long-term consequences that come with it. And then it makes you ask the bigger question. Why do black women ride so hard for Cardi B but drag Claressa Shields non-stop? It would honestly take a whole masterclass to break down the chokehold Cardi B has on black women, and she's not letting up either. For for some twisted reason, they actually enjoy being dominated by Cardi B. I'm telling you, the level of dedication and obsession some of these black feminists and so-called hood rats have with this non-black woman is starting to look like straight-up mental illness. At this point, somebody might need to step in with an intervention for the women, too, because the way they sing for Cardi B is wild and honestly sad to watch. But that Jezebel spirit, that's the common thread tying all of this together, and it's clearly strong as ever.
We've always kind of known Cardi to be bull adjacent, you know, even when she was married to Offset and putting up with him cheating and running up on that girl up in the strip club and dealing with all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, Cardi B isn't adjacent to BS at all. She is the BS. She's fully wrapped in it, drenched in it, inside and out. It's on her. It's in her. Her whole aura is gutter-level nonsense. And listen closely to what this woman represents, because this is exactly the chokehold I'm talking about. People can be 100% honest about everything else, bold and outspoken, but the moment her name comes up, they start tiptoeing around that so-called big bad party. And it's honestly embarrassing. Like, what kind of spell does this woman have over y'all, for real?
I personally feel like, you know, Black women's love language can be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And I do feel like if Claressa Shields really separated herself from the bull that she is so determined to keep herself attached to, she wouldn't get the kind of hate and disrespect. And I do believe that she does get disrespected a lot. I don't think that she would experience it as much, and this is not me victim blaming or anything like that, because if Claressa Shields don't see herself as a victim, I won't either. I just feel like a lot of what Claressa Shields is experiencing is rooted in disappointment, because that girl is amazing, you know, in her sport, in her, you know, in her story, in her come up, in all of her things, and it's just truly being overshadowed by some bull.
You really have to pay attention to who rides the hardest for Cardi B and who goes the hardest at Claressa Shields, because once you do that, the pattern becomes crystal clear. It's largely the same group, and yes, it's mostly black women. They've been on Claressa Shields' neck non-stop ever since the whole Remy and Papoose situation kicked off. Meanwhile, Cardi B has been on their necks for years, and that's the part that really needs to be studied. This non-black woman can do absolutely anything, and black women will still show up to defend and support her. She and her sister have openly referred to black women as monkeys, chimpanzees, roaches, and ugly. She's made disgusting comments about black women and black children. She's casually thrown around the N-word and called black people bitches without hesitation. She's threatened violence and even tried to physically run up on people, and still, nothing happens to her. And here's the truly disturbing part. She can toss out allegations, take jabs, and weaponize the violations of 5-year-old little black girls. We're talking about throwing childhood trauma and abuse in the faces of black women. Trauma that happened to them when they were children, and nobody says a word. Nobody even reports it. Why? Because black women don't even protect themselves at this point. They don't care. Claressa Shields has never done anything even remotely close to that, and she never would, especially not involving children, because that trauma is part of her own story. She would never go there. Yet Cardi B can do all of that and still keep her corporate sponsors. Companies are still handing her millions of dollars in endorsements and brand deals. The very same companies that will never give that kind of money to Claressa Shields, a champion, undefeated, back-to-back Olympic gold medalist. And like I've said before, Claressa, I know you don't like my opinion when it comes to you and Papoose, because you can't see what I see. The problem is, you're not getting wise counsel. You don't have people around you who are actually qualified to guide you. And even if you did, you're also hard-headed. So those lessons, you're gonna have to learn them the hard way, on your own. The biggest issue with Papoose isn't even the breakup with Remy. It's how messy everything was handled. The separation should have been clean. The divorce should have been finalized before parading a new relationship in everyone's face, especially after building an entire black love brand off the first relationship. That messiness is exactly what opened the door to all of this negative energy. And that energy isn't going anywhere anytime soon, especially while he's still legally married to the same woman. At this point, nobody even cares about Remy's cheating or anything she did. The situation with Claressa has completely overshadowed all of that. Yes, there's a double standard when it comes to men and women in this situation, but feminists created that environment themselves. But anyway, I digress. Let's open the floor. Drop your thoughts about this entire mess in the comments below. And I also want to send a special thank you to our brother Felix. I appreciate you, Felix, for all the support you continue to show the channel.